Are you a sneakerhead like me? Would you like to see something cool? Because if you're like me, you might think this is cool. And I would love to see this if I had the money to just buy all the sneakers I wanted when I wanted. Look at this. One box, 2 pairs of foam pods. It's not 1, not 2, and one's kind of 2 colors. Okay, we got the white paint. It's going to come off. Weatherman underneath. Okay, and then the stealth colorway. So excited to sell these to my boy White Chocolate from Depop. Shout out to you, guy. The box is coming, dude. Thanks for shopping Loose Stuff. If you want to be like him, get some great sneakers, sometimes 2 at a time, sure. If we agree upon a price, it's going to be a great price. You already know, because that's what we do at Loose Stuff. Shop now. All this is available. I love you. Jesus loves you. And have a great day, whether or not you shop with me. But if you need anything, please check out my page. I might just have it. All right, Lucast 5. Let's go. Let's hear it, Maddie. Starting us off.
Hey, y'all. So there was this thing that was popular last year with mostly white liberal women.
Galaxy Gas? Oh, yeah.
Question.
I'm getting the house.
Same.
Take the house.
Yeah, wait.
Question they posed. Let's say you were stranded, lost, and alone in the woods. Would you rather?
No, let her get it out.
Would you rather encounter a man or a bear?
This is where we're at, bro. And like, what? This is a question just for white women. That's the only like demographic.
Yeah, pretty much.
This question for okay.
And many white women said, "Oh, the bear."
Like, what? Just like women who have never been outside, or like who have never seen a bear.
I think the point was that, oh, well, you don't know what you're getting with the man. The man could be nice. The man could kidnap you.
I did hear about this. Yeah, but you know what a bear is about. It's like a 50% chance he's going to try to fucking eat you, right?
Yeah. Which is why...
were they even addressing that in the comments?
Yes. And a lot of women still would say the bear because they want the predictable danger over the unpredictable danger. And they say the bear is more predictable than a man.
I mean, I guess that does line up with psychology for the for the more vulnerable species.
Oh God, Alabama.
Yeehaw, Alabama.
You sound 35 and you're from Alabama. I hate you so much.
You sound like you're from some fucking lame city. Like, not the country, but
ahead.
nowhere
Use
cool.
your Alabamian brain. Think of something.
I'm not in Alabama, you fucking idiot.
Go ahead. I'll wait. Alright, cook something up.
What do you want me to cook? What do you like to eat?
Bread is you.
I just met you, genius.
Redemption.
What?
Wait, what'd you say, Maddie? That was, I think you just nailed it.
It sounds like Wings of Redemption.
Oh my god, say it for the chat. You know what you sound like, bro? Dude, that has to be like the worst YouTuber I've ever seen. Watch, I'm just gonna stop talking to him, so he's just gonna wonder the whole game. Bro, that kid he just makes hit pieces and shit. I just saw one hit piece because I follow Brandon Buckingham, who he kind of mentioned in a. He made like a hit piece for like 4 YouTubers in one video. It's like an hour and a half long. And then Brandon Buckingham did like a 40-minute or something thing where he like summarized it and called him just called him out on how much of a bitch he was. I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't the YouTuber you watch, Maddie, is it?
No. Wings of Redemption was one of the more famous OG Call of Duty YouTubers.
Oh, I didn't even know he did Call of Duty.
Yeah, Wings of Redemption was one of the best Call of Duty YouTubers ever in the late 2000s.
Push up, Rick. We out.
And he was the one who preceded people like Woody's Gamertag and FPS Russia and Mercadurka, Only Use Me Blade. Wings of Redemption was one of the best Call of Duty YouTubers and one of the first.
But then I think when I discovered him, it seemed he had switched to just talking about like horror type content. That was his thing. He's like, I'm like a horror. You just talk about
Not even horror movie. I don't even know what the fuck his thing was.
Yeah, no.
I think
he's really
horror
changed
movies.
his stuff.
Then he was like, yeah, all these gun
recently
YouTubers
posted-
are like right leaning, and he was just talking about a video where they're just getting together on some guy's ranch shooting all these guns, and they weren't even
Yeah.
like political at all. But anyway, fuck that shit. What this dude derailed us, bro. We gotta be careful with the game chat during the podcast. Oh, it's format. Look who it is. But anyway, what? So these bitches want
Goyim.
the evil. They don't respond.
Shut
Oh,
the fuck
wait a minute. Isn't Goyim?
Black!
Isn't shut up? Isn't Goyim like a Goyim's like a Jewish term, right?
Gotta agree with the inbred on that one.
Yeah. What's the bar mitzvah music sound like? I can't sing it. What do you guys know that word? Goyim? Oh, there it is. Thanks. Fuck you, format. It's night. All right, but wait. So these bitches want to be with the bear, which like makes sense until you realize what. First of all, oh wait, so they didn't specify if the woman's like alone in the woods. Wait, yeah, she's alone in the woods. It's just her, right?
Alone in the woods.
White woman alone in the woods.
Yep.
Before a bear or a man show up, fucking, how's she gonna eat? First of all, let's fucking get our priorities straight here, dude. She's trying to figure out who she wants to fuck. Entertaining fucking a bear, bro. That's women, bro. And they say fucking women are the better sex. What? Women are fucking evil, dude. No, not evil, but they're just like eviler. Or like closer to...
That's where level
We're all
2
sinful.
of this riddle comes in.
Is it a riddle? Or is it just a question?
No, it's just like a moral
It's just a
dilemma.
fact.
No, I think a moral dilemma is a good word for that. Alright, we got a care package on the balcony. Help me. Oh, it fell off the balcony. Fuck. Ooh. Format 18 is camping out, trying to get my shit. Rick, go get my care package. It's like on the bottom of the house, like right out front. It's actually in the most dangerous spot ever. But it's a sentry gun.
Dang. It's
Oh, Format stole it, bro. Format, I'm gonna fuck you up and destroy my sentry gun. Wait, so what's level 2, Maddie? Is level 2 who you're gonna fuck?
No, level 2 is, let's say you're a black woman, and you're alone in a boardroom in a fancy high-ranking office.
Whoa, good one.
Would you rather be alone with a white man or a white woman?
Easy answer. Oh, is that the one you sent me? Where they were all like
No.
white man?
And that's because
They
the
fucking love
person
white
who
men.
The person who posed this question said that white women are very good at, I mean, obviously, like misogyny and history of misogyny and all that, but also white women are very good at weaponizing when to be fragile and when to use that fragility to get men to do what they want.
Are white women better at that than other colored women?
No, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure all women do that. When
But
the
it's
time is right.
mostly white women.
Well, white women are like the only ones any man ever talks about. No.
motherfucker.
Fucking
How's there a
noob,
noob?
bro. It's okay.
I got like 1 kill.
Waters, this is your fucking fault.
I-tag swim team. Oh wait, so we gotta figure out how this conversation relates to us, because we're just, well, we're mostly just some cool dudes. Wait, what would you say, Maddie? You're a woman now, so
Oh, I would hands down trust the white man over the white woman.
what about the bear?
The man or the bear? I mean,
Come on.
I'm not traditionally feminine, so I usually haven't been in a situation where I run into like scuzzy dudes. I'm in the same way.
It wouldn't be that hard to survive with a scuzzy dude, even if he was a scuzzy dude, I think.
I do think a lot of women are willing to settle with really shitty people just because they don't want to be alone.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy...
I want to disagree with part 1 of this riddle. Or not riddle, but...
Let's do it.
whatever.
Well, yeah,
Because,
yeah.
well, alright, well, okay, so let's take the bear first. There's like I don't know, maybe let's say like a 1% chance that the bear actually fucks you up. But if it fucks you up,
Whoa.
you're basically dead.
I don't know about the 1%, but continue.
Well, let's just say it's pretty low.
I said
It's a
50%.
low.
Wait.
Okay,
1%?
it
Yeah.
sounds like-
50%
well, it
is
sounds like
definitely
what
more accurate.
It sounds like for women who answer this question,
Well, meet in the middle. Let's call it like 25.
like the thing they feel uncomfortable with is the unpredictability, like the
Yeah.
relatively low percentage
We can agree on
chance that you get harmed with the bear.
Those
versus-
women probably think like there's a 50% chance any given man is going to try to sexually assault me. And I feel like the women
But
that
I think that the overall expected value for harm done by a man is still lower than the bear.
overall, what do you mean, like the real odds or like what?
Yeah, because you got to scale.
You've got to somehow quantify like harm done by a creepy guy versus harm done by a bear attack.
Well, like okay, men are very dangerous animals. Like we're still animals, and we can use weapons. Like Look at what we're playing, bro. Like what if the bro? What if the man has an intervention, bro? Like that, she could not even have any sign that man is in the woods with her. He could be 3 miles away and snipe the shit out of her.
Way less likely to encounter a man with an intervention in the woods.
In the woods? Wait. What if you're in the woods in fucking Nashville? And probably not an intervention, but like there could be a guy with a sniper waiting on a deer.
I'm sure that there are.
Or just
men
a
in
bitch.
Nashville.
That like there could be.
Oh, Nashville is like liberal.
What? Is it kind of?
Nashville is like is liberal. It's in a city.
I guess. But we haven't been there. But what I think is like I understand where these women are coming from, but I have a bad feeling that the women that answered, whether they have fears of like.
Waters, you're bad. You're so goddamn bad. Holy shit.
Or like what we can say for sure about the chicks in question are like, I don't think it could be safe to say that they don't know enough about
Waters,
how
you're
bears
a
work.
child.
Yeah, Blotters isn't there fucking shit up, dude. Let's noob tube. I'm about to wipe him out. I feel like, okay, if you know how bears work, it's a better. I mean, I guess if I was a woman, like, would I think I have a chance of scaring a bear off? I would think it's possible, but I wouldn't want to take the risk. But I guess I could see how, if I was a woman also, I wouldn't want to have to take that risk with a random man either. The man might as well be a bear, really. Whether he's armed or not, right?
Yeah.
Unless the woman's
Now
like...
the man is a bear.
He's a hybrid, bro. He's like a werebear. I mean, I don't know. I might be... Wait, Rick, what else do you have to... Are you sure you disagree? Because, like, at first I was like, I think these women are full of shit, bro, but I might be abandoning that. Because a bear could tear you apart slowly.
Oh my god, Blotters, why'd you do that?
Like, a bear's definitely not
Take it
gonna...
back.
A bear's most likely not gonna torture you for an ungodly amount of time before killing you. And a bear's also probably not gonna torture you sexually, maybe. Which many men might, right?
Well, see, that's what we gotta do. We gotta, like...
Train the bear.
No, we gotta...
No, what? Come on now. What a woman thing to say. Shut up, woman. No, what are you gonna say, Rick? What do we have to do?
Oh, well, we gotta quantify the harm done of, I suppose, sexual assault versus murder by bear.
I mean, without really studying this
Which is
on...
not something I really want to do.
well, I think we're doing... You just suggested it, so you can't just back
Well,
out like that.
You know what I wanted to do, though? I wanted to do, in order of, oh my god, Blotters.
In order of what? Bro, you gotta, like, finish the thought. Or, like, try to
I'm
do it
sorry.
in, like, a timely fashion.
I
I get
was
it, I
getting
get it.
Blotters, my sworn enemy here.
Just kill him. You don't have to try to chat with him and shit. The longer you spend
Okay.
thinking of a retort to his action, the harder it is gonna be to take action against him. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
true.
And he's just gonna kill you more. And
Thank you.
it's gonna derail this
Right.
podcast infinitely, bro.
Yeah, Lou, you're my COD guru.
And it's gonna
here.
make it harder for me to edit said podcast, which sucks. for
Okay,
me.
Yeah, I don't want to make you edit it anymore.
What? So you said quantify the harm of a man and a bear. I mean, I don't think it. Do we have to? Why do we have to quantify the harm? Because a bear,
Well, because
both
we're
animals
ranking-
can lead to death. I think it's more
Yeah,
like
but we're
quantify the
ranking-
odds.
The reason we need to quantify it is because we're ranking these two in terms of badness. Like one is worse than the other.
Like
Which means-
potential harm, right?
Like we do need to somehow have a metric for like which one is worse to encounter.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm looking at it like a binary thing. Like, okay, is a bear capable of hurting me? Yes. Is it capable of killing me? Yes. And the same goes for a man. So it's like, okay, realistically, what are the odds a random bear is gonna hurt or kill me versus the odds of a random man hurting me or killing me? And I have a sneaking suspicion, without doing much research in this on TikTok myself, but knowing perhaps more than enough about just TikTok people in general, I have a sneaking suspicion a lot of the perceived potential harm these women are considering is some sort of sexual assault. If I had to guess, that's a big reason why they're making this decision, right? Because I think even though they're women, most of the women in question that participated in this discussion, they probably have some awareness of the fact that the likelihood of a bear trying to sexually molest them is probably lower than that of a man, right? Like, that's safe to say, right? Like, even the most retarded girls on TikTok that don't know enough
Well, yeah,
about...
we could have a 2x2 grid. We could have what's the likelihood that a bear will sexually assault you?
Like, it
What's
could
the likelihood that
happen,
a
maybe,
man will
but
sexually assault you.
I think
What's
these...
the likelihood that a bear will murder you, and the likelihood that a man will murder
Yeah,
you?
like, I think the chicks are probably thinking, okay, the likelihood of just a random bear, you know, it could be a cub, it could be in a good mood, it could be just, you know, it had enough fish and it can
Black
barely, it's got the
bear,
itis.
brown bear.
Yeah, it could not be a black bear, so it's not just going to go right to crime, right? It you know, so they're probably thinking, like, the man, it's probably more of a 50% chance a random man in the wood might want to kill me, you know? There's a lot of bad men because they just hear about them all the time or something. But, like, what definitely swayed it toward men being more dangerous, I think, is because they're probably like, a lot of them probably just hear the word man and think, oh my god, you know, like, they're gonna take advantage of me because I'm a woman. And I'm sure most of those also, this might be the hot take part of the podcast, level 2, if you will. I'm sure most of those women, if they are thinking like that, are, despite what they think, like they think there's a high likelihood a random man might want to molest them. I feel like the actual likelihood of those particular women getting molested is low as fuck. If I had to guess. Like the kind of woman that, like, if I was alone in the woods and I knew it was just me and a random woman and I could get away with anything and I was like, hey, you know, I might just, you know, do something terrible. I would need a different specimen. You know what I think? You know, if I was going to actually do it. Hypothetically, of course. Like, I would never do that. When I go into the woods, I just hike. I have a great time. When I bring women with me, it's even better. They have a great time. You know that. But if it wasn't...
You know,
I just...
backing up for a sec, I think...
Go ahead.
The funny thing is, I had this, like, list of, like, topics in order of, like, increasing taboo.
Oh, yeah, let's
Yeah.
And,
run through that.
and the thing is, I was going to save talks of domestic violence and sexual assault for, like, the very end. So we sort of just skipped to the taboo zone.
Well, you know what?
That means we're just getting started.
That's all right.
So we were going to start with, like, pineapple on pizza.
Well, maybe we'll just save that chronology. That's good. Hold on to that. Yeah. Getting fucked by a bear, maybe. Ooh, only you can prevent wildfires. Wear a condom when you rape a human, even though you're a bear, or your shit's gonna be on fire. No. Yo, no, I mean we could go down that good thought, but maybe we'll start the next episode like that. Cause now we're here, bro. We're here now. And I guess here is, who do you think a woman's gonna? Who does a woman probably think is gonna do worse things to her, a man or a bear? And the sad truth is, I mean, just think about it. Like, if I was a chick, I'd be thinking, like, just men have thought of, oh, like, where normally in society, you know, I might have to do whatever a woman desires a man to do, you know, until she gives it up, as they say. But in a setting like the middle of the woods, it's like, who's gonna stop me from realizing the reality that is, the physical dominance isn't really like something you can deny. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, that sucks for women. But like men have figured this out.
And a man on average are going to be stronger than the average woman.
Yeah, but again, I think even women understand that, like, I don't know if bears can even conceptualize any potential benefit of trying to, what they probably just know is making cubs with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that probably isn't even like a thought in the bear's mind. I don't know if bears have thoughts.
A man with bad intent is capable of more evil than a bear.
Like, based on what man knows about women, I feel like any man, even the ones without the internet, yeah, because it's biological, right? Like, every man is at least somewhat aware of the benefit of I guess, you know, like, physically subduing a woman. No, that sounds crazy, but like, basically, yeah, like, or like he's aware of the benefit he can get from a woman's body. We'll put it like that, right? Where like a bear, the only benefit the bear sees is like maybe a quick snack. Do bears even attack people for that?
I think if they're really hungry.
Yeah, if they're hungry, maybe. I mean, again, you know what the bear is capable of, but you know, you don't really know what the bear is thinking, and I guess you don't really know what the man does. The man's thinking either.
Yeah, dude, if I was a woman, I would just fucking bring a man with me.
Thinking?
What are women thinking?
Fucking...
Nothing.
Man. Who cares? That's how I answer that question usually. No, I mean, in general, should we answer that question in the general ass sense? Like, in general, man's just thinking fucking, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna eat today? Or like, you know, how am I gonna eat today? More like it.
Yeah. Well, the bear's really thinking like,
I don't know if bears even think. Well, wait, so that black woman started this, or she just jumped on the trend of talking about it?
So the original question of bear or man in the woods was posed by some white woman.
Oh. And what did she say? Or did she have an opinion?
The black woman took it a step
I don't
further.
remember asking if you had an opinion.
Yeah, like, since when are these women just, like, stating opinions? Just kidding.
Further and said, well, okay, now who's more, instead of man or bear, who's more dangerous?
Let's make it racial.
Now who's more dangerous? You know, white woman in the business world who's, you know, playing office politics and crying to the boss, or the stoic white man trying to do his job, but he's a white man and has the, you know, maybe some outside advantage, or, you know, talks loudly in meetings, versus, you know, the crying white woman who, there we go, the crying white woman who, like, can still get ahead but use other means other than strength.
Like head.
Yeah.
She can get ahead with
there's
head.
only one way to do that.
Yeah, if I was a woman, I'd hope it was a man, because then I could easily probably, like, you know.
No, but
Well,
remember,
I
you're
don't
a
know.
black woman.
Ooh. No, I mean, is she in my boardroom?
You're essentially equals, I think.
Some white men like black women. Not all of them. Definitely not all of them. But yeah, I don't know. See, at the end of the day, this seems like a good topic, but Maybe if we had like more, like, if we had like women guests on the podcast, we could revisit this. But I personally, as a man, don't give a fuck anymore.
You should do one of your videos where you ask random women that question, and then you should ask the level 2 question.
I do that. Well, so start with the man and the bear, and then level 2 is find black women, and then ask him what color boss they want.
Yeah. You have to make sure you ask it right. So it's in the woods, man or bear. In the boardroom, white man or white woman.
But the white man and the white
Oh,
woman in the
that's right.
boardroom, is that their boss?
No, you're equals. But the thing is that just as how the white man or the scary man in general in the woods might be unpredictable and you don't really know. The
Oh,
white
just
woman in
so
the
they're like
office-
co-workers in the
Yeah.
so it's like at the office.
Yeah, who could be like running, office politics or gossip or spreading rumors or crying or whatnot.
I'm sure the majority. Oh, I'm sure because I looked at the comments. I didn't even know that's what the comments were when I read them, but they were all saying white man. And then before I just remember that right now, I also thought it would be white men because they love us, and they and everyone else hate white women. Like, I mean, not like everyone hates white women, but they objectively just are not like really lovable. Like, they're likable kind of, but they're also like ugh. So like, especially in the workplace. And I work myself. Shout out to all my white women coworkers. I mean, they're kind of like Latina too. I love them. They're great at what they do. But I'm still like ugh. Like, if they were men, this would be so much better. No offense if you're watching. I love you, but you know what I'm saying.
Lou, let's say you were on shift and it was you and one other woman on shift, and it's like an actual white woman, not like a white passing Latina. And like that white woman could say anything. Like, she could say you groped her
Right.
and you would have no recourse.
I mean, a black woman kind of could too, but maybe not because they'd be like, "Girl, I know you a freak."
Not be as easily as believed is what I'm saying.
Yeah, allegedly. Oh man, I gotta have some black
Alright,
women
Waters,
start
let's do
working
this.
with us. I should hire black women to work for Loose Stuff. I will. I mean, once I find some. Well,
Well, again, it's like who do you think is more trustworthy? Right?
I mean, it depends on if it's like a cool black woman. She's certainly saying a white man. I mean, not like, I'm sure some of the sillier chocolate women might say that too, but also no, because I feel like the sillier even the silly liberal black women, they probably hate white women more than the base ones, right?
Yeah.
Am I
Probably.
tripping? I feel like I should know this.
You should go out on the street and you should ask, as long as you're not like inflammatory and you actually want to know.
I should. I just never do them fucking on the street videos because I gotta fucking hold the camera and the mic. Like, I could, I guess. I'll try that soon.
What you could do, I've seen people do it where, like, they set up a table or a ladder or something on the sidewalk, and you have people come to you.
No, I'm not doing all that. But I saw a girl like walk up on people the other day, and she was just holding her iPhone in one hand and the mic in the other. Like, I could.
Was she white?
I was trying to. She was white, yeah.
Well, yeah, because a white woman will go up to you
She's
and
safe.
you'll be friendly to a safe white woman. You wouldn't want to.
Like, I can make this content, but even though I'm a man, I'm low key like, not that I feel like I bother people when I go up on the street for content, but like, I can get my ass kicked by strangers, and like, I'd rather
That's what I'm
not.
saying.
Not that I think it's gonna happen, but it is kind of a risk I usually just don't take. Not that that's why I haven't been making videos outside. I just prefer to have someone filming for me and shit. And I've been trying to just hold out till I find the right person that can actually hang and film properly. But for now, I'll just yap on a podcast.
No, but that's what I'm saying, right? Nobody would ever like try to willingly beat up a white woman, right, on the street interviewing.
I mean,
But somebody would like try to beat you up if you were like bothering them.
how do they know what's good for them? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
So a lot of white women would rather trust a bear over a man in the woods. And a lot of black women would rather trust a white man in the office over a white woman.
Hmm. Well, I feel like chicks that work in general probably all. Wait a minute. What are the odds the white women in the office? Wait, they weren't even. They didn't ask them about the part 2 because they only care about black women's opinion. But
Yeah, because the white women would get offended as easily as the men when you ask them the bear question.
no, I mean, I don't know if men were offended really, but
Well, not like you men.
I'm
like,
I'm offended by like the stupidity. Or at first I thought it was stupid because I was like, you really think you're safer with a man than a bear that can't always differentiate you from its food and it rips its food to shreds to eat. Where like men usually don't do that, but men do usually lack pussy. And what are the odds of you just bump into one in the woods? It's gonna be the guy that has a fucking girl, a wife, you know, that is satisfied. I don't know.
I mean, even if you do have a wife, maybe they're not.
Yeah, even if you got a wife, you still, she sucks. So, or she doesn't suck, and that's why you're trying to, fuck off into the woods all by yourself where no one can hear you scream. I don't know.
Yo.
The implication,
But again, right? That's like,
the implication.
that's the fear of the white woman. Like, they don't know what's going on in the man's head as much as they know about the bear's head.
Like, no women are actually in danger, but I feel like you're gonna do something to these women.
I think white women are highly coddled. But
No, look, I think, bro, in the work, it's kind of like two different questions. I feel like in the workplace, it's not a survival thing at all. It's just like, how can I thrive better? Who can I thrive better with as a coworker? And I feel like any woman would probably prefer to have more men in the workplace than women.
I would probably agree.
Overall, because if it's all women, like nothing's gonna get done. Well, like not nothing's gonna get done. But like who? Like it's
a lot of
the actual because like they would all just be avoiding the work, and then like bro, no offense, and maybe I'll cut this part out, but like dude, one of my general managers is a woman, and she has the most experience out of all the women. And much like the other women employees that are not general managers, she ducks the responsibility. And her father owns the restaurant.
Makes sense.
So, like, there's no getting around the laziness and the just fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're just gonna, being a bitch. No offense, but like...
It sounds more like she's taking advantage of nepotism more than the fact she's a woman. Like, can't you imagine a son of the owner doing the same thing?
I mean, I could, I guess. I mean, like, I'm trying to think. Like, okay, my general manager that is a man, good friends with her, they have about the same amount of experience, and she kind of helped get him in the door of that management position. But, he still had to, they both, like, kind of paid their dues as not management before, right? But the man... I was gonna say he still takes out the trash, but honestly, the female one, she's been taking out the trash recently. So, but I'm just feeling like if I had to guess, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they both be ducking responsibility. Even the man manager tries to duck responsibility, but
I think the issue is the managers just duck responsibility.
I mean, they're all young, so like it's kind of like could just be like a young asshole thing. Like I'd probably be doing that if I was 19 in a restaurant as well. But
you're saying the manager is the owner's 19 and his daughter's like 2.
There's two general managers that are not owners of the restaurant, and
okay.
One of them is a girl that's like 21, and one's a guy that's 21, and they're like low-key both just turned 21 type shit, or like maybe one's about to turn 22, but they're basically 19. It's like the same thing, but they can drink and go to the casino, like. But anyway, away from my job for a minute, so we can actually publish this. Fucking, what were we saying? What if we just only had men in the workplace and alone in the woods? Because honestly, I wouldn't want my women alone in the woods or anywhere.
Other than...
Because I would assume they would be, other than what?
The kitchen.
Yeah, like, but you know, like while I'm home and while I can look at the cameras if I'm not.
And if you're hungry for like a sandwich or something.
Bro, having seen what I've seen, I don't even know how I'm gonna leave my wife alone in my house with the security, with the cameras. I don't even want to, but like you can't be a, you know, I also don't want to be with her all the time, so I'm gonna have to. Like, do dudes just get babysitters for their wives? Like, how does this work?
No, literally,
What about trust? It sounds like you just gotta trust your wife.
Yeah, that's what all the guys say who get cheated on and who their wives get kidnapped. It's all fun and games until you trust her to, you know.
I'm gonna buy a duplex and one for me, one for my spouse.
Yeah, that's probably what the fuck I'm gonna do, kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, it's always been pretty easy to trust girls, right? But I guess, like, the more I learn about them, the less of a good idea that sounds like. But that's not to say I couldn't still do it. But I think to do it, I have to kind of, like, remove the attachment to a degree. Like, I don't know, like, all the girls I ever kind of hung around with, most of them, like, I didn't really get totally attached. It's like to a degree, like I did. It was weird. Like I loved them, but I also didn't really give a fuck. Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the fake American dream, right? One spouse, 2 kids, 3 bedrooms. Like, you're expected to like cohabitate and like live with your spouse 24/7 and like always be codependent and attached at the hip, and that's kind of bullshit. It's just meant to like sell more houses and get more people married so the church has more kids and bullshit, you know?
I mean, that sounds right, but that is kind of what I expected relationships to be like when I was young. But then when I finally got into a relationship and sort of acted like that, it sort of turned my partner away. And then I realized later, like, that behavior was just not really conducive to, like, improving maintaining a relationship, right?
No, exactly.
And also, you got to have the right partner. Like, I picked a bad partner as well, and it was like kind of early, and I had no resources. But
literally, marriage is actually like a relatively new thing in human civilization.
I mean, I'm down for the marriage and the monogamy, but I don't know about the cohabitation. But
And that's actually even newer. That's only as new as the GI Bill.
I mean, I had my ex come over to my house a lot, but I definitely like was always ready for her to leave when it was time for her to go home to her parents, right? But at least like, even though her parents weren't ideal, I knew she was like probably safe most of the time.
Yeah.
But also I wasn't even really thinking about safety like that, because like once she wasn't in my house, I kind of just assumed she was safe, and I also kind of didn't really care. Like, that sounds kind of fucked up, but like when we weren't hanging out, it's sort of like one time I came, and you know, this is partly like I guess the product of like not committing to a partner that you actually like want to, I guess, or think would be a good partner long term. But like one time I came home, me and Rick went to Colorado for like a week. We were out of town for a week, and I came back, and we were catching up on what we've been up to and shit. And she said that her ex had reached out, and supposedly she had this ex that was like, you know, I like reminded her of it a little bit. He was like trying to sell drugs too, but like not as cool, and like he was super weird and like kind of abusive and like clingy or whatever. He sounded like a guy that had like borderline personality as well as she did. Yeah. But like, I don't know, it got like kind of toxic, and then eventually she realized she had to leave, whatever. But then like he had reached out, but also like I always like, you know, we kind of like stay in touch, not really, but like, I don't know, I thought we'd be like friends forever, and for a while we were like staying in contact, but now we're not. But then when I got back from town, she said he had reached out and she had actually paid him a visit, which sounds crazy. And at this point, it's like, couldn't be my girlfriend. But at the time, I'm hearing this and I'm like, oh, all right. And she's like, yeah, but like, you know, nothing happened. We didn't do anything. I'm like, yeah, y'all didn't fuck or anything, right? Because that's pretty crazy. Like, just the fact that you saw your ex when I wasn't around, we're like in a relationship. But I didn't even really harp on it that much. She said, they didn't fuck around, and I just took her word for it. Not so much because I believed her, but at the time I did take her word for it. But I think it was just because like I couldn't really give a flying fuck. Like if she did cheat on me, what would knowing that do for me, So I just kind of continued the relationship as if that wasn't a big deal, which like it objectively is. Like if your girl goes and sees her ex when you're not around, if that was true, and she wasn't just saying that to maybe see what I do or whatever, which I think might be the case, that's fucking crazy, and there's a good chance your ex fucked, or your girl fucked her ex, if that happens. Like, if she did go over there, I'm assuming she may have gotten fucked. But what I'm saying is, at the time, that's kind of when I realized, like, well, this is a girl that I kind of just started a relationship with for, like, kind of not the right reasons. And if she is cheating on me, I don't give a fuck, because I'm getting what I want when she's with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, that's how I always approached...
Wait, fuck, we're about to lose. God damn it.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked. Does that make sense? I mean, what does that sound like? Like, now I would never operate that way.
Yeah.
But it's because now I'm actually like, okay, let me have a serious adult relationship. Like, now that I know what not to do and what kind of makes it a solid foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't let your partners visit anyone else that, like, of the opposite sex. Or, like, Maddie, if you're into women that like women.
To leave the house.
No, like, that's probably too extreme, right? But, like...
You gotta give them an ankle monitor or an air tag at all times.
I mean, the reason... There are people that do this type of shit to their partners. Yeah, I mean, like, because it's like... But it's like, okay, like, trust is a good... It's a nice thought, right? And at the end of the day, tracking your partner all the time, like, I don't want to do that shit, right? But something that is objectively important to a heterosexual, anyway, relationship and making sure your partner's the right one is being able to know for sure that when you plant a seed, the baby that comes out is going to be from your seed, And that's the reason guys are all possessive and, people talking about cheating and being loyal nowadays is like a hot topic because like now everyone's kind of like sort of becoming aware of like the importance of that.
Yeah.
Because we've
haven't we always been somewhat aware of cheating?
Somewhat, but
that goes back to like ancient times.
Well, yeah, and I'm saying like the reason
marriage has only existed since 1200. That's actually not that ancient when you consider the span of human civilization.
Yeah, but wanting a woman that is going to be faithful sexually, that's been a thing forever. That's why until
only since 1200. I'm not joking.
Okay, what happened in 1200, Maddie? Isn't that might as well be fucking year zero? Like what?
No, in 1200. No. So
that's a long fucking time ago.
The idea of monogamy, right? You can only ever marry once, and you can only ever be married to one person. I looked this up. Only existed starting in 1200 when the Catholic Church created marriage as a sacrament because they didn't want the land that was owned by the feudal landowners to be split among too many poor people. I'm not joking.
Sounds based.
So they wanted it, right? It's all about keeping the royal bloodline and shit. So they did that by saying you can only ever marry once, and you can only ever marry one person, and you can only have kids with one person because they wanted to keep pure bloodlines and shit. But that doesn't matter anymore because there's no like fucking like kings and castles.
Well, okay, but that's like they were achieving real estate goals, right? And like kingdom goals.
Yeah.
But and to a degree, ensuring the paternity of your child is a bit of a kingdom goal, right? If you're a real man that's trying to have a kingdom, right? But like
you just like DNA tests nowadays. You don't have to like make shit illegal because
Oh yeah, well like but shit isn't illegal. Like that's why we're in the state we're in. Like literally all of society's problems is a big part because we've allowed dumb shit like feminism. No offense, but like it's objectively dumb and like this sexualization of society, it all just degrades a lot of like more important things in society because society is built by men And if men are too busy worrying about, is my woman fucking a black man behind my back, they're not going to be able to build the roads and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be just a black man, of course. Like, it could just be any man that's not her boyfriend, really. I just, a lot of men do have that phobia when they're not black. I feel like a lot of black men might have that phobia too, bro. Some of these black guys are fucked. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say what kind of doctor it was.
Yeah, like, no, but like on a serious note, like that can that fear. If you're unsure of if you're gonna know if the kid's yours, it's gonna be really hard to maintain mental stability unless you detach, like I did when I was younger, and go, well, shit. As long as I don't see her suck another dick, and she's nice when she's with me, when she's not with me, if she can hide it, she can suck all the dick she wants. I don't give a flying fuck. Like if it doesn't affect me, you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty unrealistic because I think
that's literally called poly.
Yeah, but the reason poly is fucking. Well, break down your basic definition of what polyamorous.
Polywana.
Poly pocket. Polywana. Suck a bunch of dicks. Nah. The thing is that poly isn't real. Like that girl poly, the way I just used it in the sentence. Not like polyamory is what? You can have relations with multiple people, but what does it mean? You're in love with all of them, or what does it mean?
So the reason like people don't want cheating, first of all, it's like you're violating a previously, established agreement. But also people are like insecure that they'll be like alone forever and bullshit. And so that's why they have to like lock down some significant other, and that's why there's no cheating because,
I think that's why women like loyal men. I think the man's reason is kind of different.
The man will cheat on the woman probably because he's just bored of the woman. The woman will cheat on the man because, I don't know, same reason, I guess.
Well,
but,
I mean,
Polly says, well, if this monogamy thing is like not real and we're being nice to each other when we're in each other's company and we're not in each other's company and you still want to like date or whatever, you're like, that's okay. And if both people or however many people involved in the triangle or the square or
square.
So yeah, so you can do a polycule is where there's 3 people or more all in one core marriage, or you can have people that like will date each other one-on-one but at different times.
Okay, so it's just a big mess. That's what I'm hearing. No, but like, so like, I could see how I think I basically understand. It's kind of like what I said, except you can like exponentially do it with like other partners and maybe other couples if you're all cool together when you're together or something.
Monogamous swinging.
Right. Yeah, it's just swinging, but like, okay, there's a reason like you don't know any famous swingers that just like are transparent about their whole life and are proud of it and actively like promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think I got a single kill.
The thing is, like, our society, the way with the feminism and everything, we've convinced a lot of people, including like a lot of women, young women usually, but a lot of old women too, that like they date and mate select just like men. But because in reality they don't, but they don't they're not aware of that. They think they can. They'll go and try shit like polyamory, or like when I was my last year of college, we had this girl that was, like to do things with me and my roommates and the neighbors, and think, she would say I don't have a crush on any of these guys, but then other days she'd say, well, I kind of have a crush on him. Well, actually, the next day I have a crush on Lucas, and well, actually, no, it's fine. You can fuck whoever you want. I don't have to be your girlfriend, Lucas. But then I'm kissing her friend in the bar and she's drunk and she's assaulting me out of jealousy. Like, it's because it's a lot. It's deep down. Women don't just fuck, right? Men do. And that's why people hear the word cheating, and a lot of them don't even we got to have a definition of cheating. Like, some people think that a woman is cheating on her man if she even entertains, like, communicating with a guy, right? Yeah. Which might just be true, but if a man sleeps with a woman, a lot of women too think that's cheating. But some would say, if a man sleeps with a woman, but then comes back to his girlfriend that he loves, he actually loves her, And as long as he's providing for only her, he didn't really cheat on her. He just busted a nut because his girl was unavailable or on her period or something. But then, you know, if the man is secretly having multiple actual relationships and like, you know, he's got all these condos, one for each of his girlfriends, and he's putting babies in all the girlfriends, but like lying about it to his main girlfriend, and then she finds out, then it's only like, I think I'm pretty confident that it's only cheating if you're lying. And of course, like if I tell my girl, if I have what a girl is looking for in a man, right? And we get into an actual relationship, and it's a good relationship, and she's a good girlfriend, and I'm a good guy friend. But from the start of that relationship, I said, listen, I love the shit out of you. I want to spend my life with you, but I damn sure am never going to go without ever fucking a black woman again. So when I get along with a black woman, I'm going to bang her sometimes. And if that's all right with you, I'll take care of you forever. If I say it like that, and I've got what the woman needs, and I'm the only man in her life like that, chances are she's going to go, fuck it. I don't love the idea of Lucas banging black women sometimes, but you know what? It's not that big a deal. Because where am I going to find another Lucas, right? But unfortunately, not fortunately, it's the way God made us, men will never do that. Like, men who are, you know, worth, like, being in a relationship with, because women just aren't capable of, like, that kind of, they can't just give it up just to get resources, despite what they might say. And do. A lot of women just do that. But they don't realize that they're, like, breaking their fucking soul, like, doing that. And they're, like, probably degrading their mental capacity, too, to some degree. To a big degree, I think.
Yeah, so...
Like, fucking to get resources and thinking, like, they're not in love, but then later on they'll be like, oh, fuck. I kind of missed that guy. He had all those resources, you know what I'm saying? Like, why was she fucking him in the first place? But for weed, no. I mean, I don't know for sure, but... Like, there's girls that fucked me for weed before that then went and disappeared for years and then came back when I didn't have weed. Well, wait, I always had weed. But what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? Like, when a woman decides to stray from her partner, A, it's usually before she lets her partner know she's done with him. And B, it's because she found a partner that can provide more for her. Which is a good strategy. And, like, some men do that, too. But, you know, society usually calls those men fucking liars or playboys or whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, some men just want more from their girl, or... I'm not condoning that by any means, you know. But I think it's more righteous to just tell a girl, you know, you're done with her or whatever. But that's how I see it.
Yeah. You're allowed to, I mean, everyone's, like, the idea of, like, oh, there's some, like, fake script every single couple has to follow, like, that only exists because the Catholic Church made that up 800 years ago, which is not, again, not that long in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, but all these laws and customs, they are born at least partially out of, like, whether you're trying to sell real estate or do some other shit besides the good of the people or not, a big part of what motivates these policies is just the biology, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, it isn't.
How so?
Because prior to 1200, most people were not living in the traditional man and woman only monogamy shit. Like,
what was prior to 1200? Like, give me like a social event or like a movement. I can't even like pinpoint that spot on the timeline.
So like,
is that caveman time?
No, like Greek civilization, Roman civilization, right? You didn't have.
Yeah,
like,
wait. Okay, so the Romans were always just fucking anybody, right? They were doing orgies and shit all the time, right? A lot of free love there. I know that. And what happened to Rome? They fucking fell after not that many years, right?
They lasted like several thousand years, and the USA has only been around for 250.
Is that how long? Well,
yes. Look at how long the Roman Empire lasted.
I mean, it doesn't. Okay, but like, okay, we're kind of going back to. We're more like Rome now than we were in, say, 2000, right? Like, way more orgies happening now. We're fucking selling sex like never before. We're doing free love and polyamory, okay? But if you just, let's take some statistics that might measure our success as a country. Like, there's less babies being born right now than like ever, maybe. We're definitely in like the last like 10 to 20 years. Divorce rates skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? There's a fucking recession. Like, people can't afford shit, and they're working all the time. So like, some people say we're about to have the fall of the West.
Yeah, no, that won't happen.
I mean, hopefully not yet, but I just feel like there's a relationship between these things, because if you just look at if you understand basic human nature, you can kind of understand how shit has gone the way it has. Like, I'm trying to think of the right point to start this. Like, it's just like what I said about a man trying to, like, imagine trying to run a business, but you have like any doubt that your partner is not who they say they are.
Yeah, well, don't work with them then. And then
No, like your romantic partner, not even your business partner, but like a relation, like a marriage is like a business, right? It's like a business arrangement. So like, it would sort of be the same as if you don't know if your partner's stealing from you at work, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I just feel like,
Log off. It's time.
all right, have a
Hi,
good one.
Rick.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. And we could wrap this up soon. I just feel like, or like do a part 2 next time maybe.
Yeah,
But it's like,
I'm not playing well.
if it's like, okay, back when, like, the reason there were so many baby boomers whose marriages lasted longer, like, maybe some of them weren't actually that happy the whole time, but they stayed together for the kids. But I think overall, there were more happy marriages back then, because, I mean, back then dudes weren't just only marrying virgins, but I just feel like if dudes,
Back then it's a selection bias issue. You only heard about it. You only hear about stuff now more because of like cell phones and shit. You wouldn't get like
That's
the
true.
worldwide gossip of like every single unhappy wife 50 years ago. Fuck. That
I
was
mean,
bad.
like, what I know is that, like, if I can find a pure woman that I get along with, right?
Yep.
Her only frame of reference as to what a man's supposed to be that isn't me is her father, who ideally would be a strong man that knows how to lead and has his family together, right? And ideally has like a cool business of his own, you know, and that's why we get along enough to where he's cool with me dating his daughter, and that's why his daughter he raised right, when she finds a guy like me, you know, once I have my business together more, can look up to me and actually respect me enough to want to date me, right? And like, if she hasn't had an experience with any other man first, I'm going to be more confident in the likelihood of her remaining attracted to me, as long as I don't, you know, start fucking my business up or, you know, abusing her or something like that. Because the only guy who's made an imprint on her is me and her dad. But as long as her dad didn't abuse her, she's not going to have this like bad view of men that a lot of women have, because they came from subpar fathers, you know, like you see it every day. I'm sure you see it fucking all the time in New York. So like,
poor children and families.
yeah, and like dudes back in the day, maybe not like the baby boomers, but like a while ago, maybe not too long ago, damn near every dude would try to get, like, the whole marriage thing, whether it's a social construct or not. Like I said, like these customs and constructs, they're made around what works for humans based on our biology, because we're humans, right? So it's got to benefit us, right? And being able to grow.
It was made about real
No,
estate.
but Maddie, can't you see how it would potentially be made for it? It's got to be made like, it's got to cater to biology a bit, because we're human beings, we're animals, and if we're going to live a long time, right, we got to have an arrangement that facilitates a long, healthy life, right? And that's why they lumped in real estate with that, so we can have more resources, right?
Well, they only did it for the kings and the king. They didn't do it for any of the regular people.
Okay,
And
think like more recently though.
No,
Like
no,
it's
what I'm
different
saying-
than like the marriage like like our parents did when they got married.
No,
I'm assuming
what
your parents were
saying
married.
is like you wouldn't have to make it illegal if it was natural for people, right? Like you, like
What's
getting
illegal
food-
though?
So like you're saying, you're saying that like it has some basis in it being natural for humans.
Like
And
the way I understand what you're talking about is like a new thing. I got to research that more. It's interesting, but like I wasn't thinking that far back. I'm just thinking about like originally at some point whenever the fucking white dress was introduced, the white dress was supposed to signify the purity of the bride. That's why it's white,
Yeah.
right? And she looks
Yeah.
all clean in it, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to indicate that she was pure, a virgin.
yeah,
And the whole point of getting a virgin was so that when you consummate the marriage, you know, ideally as far as like Christians go, on the wedding night, you consummate the marriage, and then you can plant the seed in your wife, and then in 9 months, you're gonna have a child that you know is yours because you got a virgin wife and not a harlot. That's why, like in biblical times and every other time up until OnlyFans and like nowadays, the promiscuous woman has been kind of like an outcast from society and like ridiculed and shit because it's just not good for business.
yeah.
And for all the sluts watching, shout out to you, but unfortunately, you may have shot yourself in the foot when you decided to live that lifestyle. I could be wrong, but in my experience, the more promiscuous a woman, what does that mean? She's been with more men, right? So that means
more openly flirty in general is promiscuous.
no. I mean, promiscuous. I'm pretty sure is openly flirty might just be like kind of extroverted, but promiscuous is like she's had relations with multiple men. She's not a virgin. She's a whore. It's like these are all words for the same thing, right? But like the more it seems to be that the more of a promiscuous past the woman's had, like it changes like her brain chemistry and just who she is as a person outside of any physical like damage that might have occurred from all that, whether or not that is a thing. Because like we discussed, in order for a woman to give her body to a man, she has to think that man is the best chance she has at the time of securing a stable provider for her safety, comfort, resources, all that shit women want, right? So if she has thought that of a variety of different men, that means she probably didn't choose the best ones. Because if she did, she wouldn't have had to replace them all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like by the time for the ones that do unfortunately end up going down that path, their fucking standard modern science has kind of showed that like a woman's ability to pair bond kind of like degrades a little bit with every new partner, and it makes sense because like I don't know how to like say that, like right, like if her judgment failed her on her first, let's say she got married to all these guys, right? If her first marriage didn't work because she didn't find the right guy, and then it's like, okay, well maybe I'll move on to this guy, and then the second marriage also doesn't work, over time she's gonna probably start to question her judgment. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then the longer that goes on, eventually, like, she's going to kind of run out of judgment, for lack of a better way to say. Does that make sense? Like, she's going to kind of lose all trust in her judgment, and I think that's why these women that are promiscuous have a hard time finding partners. And, like, that's evident by, like, the rate at which these adult film stars are depressed and lonely in their old age, right? Like, I don't know how much
A lot of celebrities have shitty lives, not just the porn stars, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think the promiscuity or just definitely the inability to find a solid man and a woman's like fame kind of go hand in hand. Unfortunately, like I'm not gonna ever really try to find a famous girl. I'm gonna find famous girls to maybe like make content with to some degree, right? Maybe like YouTube videos or something. But as far as my spouse, I don't want anyone to know who she is, because it just seems like it's just not. y'all don't really handle that much attention well. I mean, like a lot of men that are celebrities don't handle attention well, right?
No, I
En
don't think
masse.
humans are meant to get that much attention at once.
Yeah, probably not.
He's been playing really fucking badly. Although to be fair,
Yeah,
I think
nothing
these
new.
people are cheating. They're like 20-3.
Maybe. It's only one of those games. Do you want to keep playing? Do you have to tap out?
I'm
Finish this
playing
rice
really
here
badly.
soon.
I shouldn't chase. Let's back out of this one and play one good one.
Alright. Yeah, fuck this map. But does this make any sense? What are your thoughts on this? And feel free to push back if some of this doesn't sound right to you. But that's just like what I've seen from my studies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people try to follow some fake script that they were told when they were kids, like some storybook, and real life isn't a storybook.
I mean, I'm not denying that a lot of our customs are just propaganda and it's kind of a scam. Like, dude, the marriage system in our country, like, I'm not gonna get married legally, even when I find a wife. Like, I'm gonna just do it with a church.
Yeah.
You know, and then I know that she doesn't want to just take my money because it's sort of set up for women to leave. Like, they benefit financially from leaving, finding a good guy, but then leaving. Then they can just take the money.
You gotta.
Oh yeah. Here we go. So, but like, I'm not saying that isn't a thing, but I just feel like the systems that have worked for many, many years, as far as like people getting into relationships and family planning and how it affects society, it tends to be a good woman is somewhat and like she's inexperienced and the man kind of has to be a bit experienced. Like women don't want to see it's funny because women want a competent man, and typically that doesn't come in the form of a man who is a virgin himself sexually, right?
They want to be coddled.
But a man, I think deep down, if heterosexual men are being honest, they all would prefer a woman that doesn't have a lot of experience. And when I was young, I was not really that aware of this. Like, supposedly my first girlfriend was a virgin, and there's evidence to suggest that she was, but until, you know, I got my hands on her. But after that, I kind of was like, well, shit, I don't mind me a hoe because she's going to know what to do. You know, it's not going to be goofy like my first girlfriend. And, you know, that was fun for a while, but it didn't lead to a lot of meaningful relationships, right? It might lead to relations, but, you know, probably subpar. And it just seems like, where was I going with this? Hold on. Bear with me here. Train might have got derailed there for a second. Oh yeah, it's just like if the woman is just raised right and she's sweet and pretty, like it might. I used to also really be a big proponent of having mutual interests with your partner as well, but nowadays I'm starting to even question if that's necessary at all. Just because like with the state of the world and like how many options in our country anyway does a man like myself really have, even once I get the resources and the business and stuff, how many options do I realistically have of girls that don't have that much experience who are also gonna be interested in all these fucking different hobbies and niche interests that I'm interested in, right? Not that my interests are that weird, but you know, some of the things I'm really passionate about are kind of unusual. But I think as long as I can get along with a girl and there's no signs that she's gonna like betray me, that might be all it takes. Like, or no, if all we have to have in common are like the goals for the kind of family planning we're trying to do, right? Like if she's trying to have a lot of kids, that's dope because I'm trying to have a lot of kids. And ideally, we both want to wait until we're ready financially, more than enough. We have like a homestead to raise them on and shit like that. And we both don't really trust the public school system, no offense. But like we prefer homeschooling, you know, shit like that. And just working on the farmstead to learn and shit like that.
Your kids, homeschooled kids will not have friends. For better or worse, school is the best place for your kid to have friends. So
well, I kind of just feel like when I get to the point where I can have the Lou compound, right?
Yeah.
Not right on top of each other, but I'm gonna have a lot of my family members living there.
Yeah.
And just my sister's family she's got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Now they're already kids. I am not gonna have kids for like another, maybe 10 years or something. So, maybe they won't be the best friends. But ideally, I'm gonna have some sort of like. I'm not trying to have a lot of neighbors, but being that kids do need to have friends and eventually associate with other kids, I'm going to try to have other families nearby, like whether it's y'all or if Rick gets married to a woman and has kids or something like that. We can have folks that, like, I'm going to try to have my friends living, if it's not on my compound, nearby, like they have land and their own compounds nearby enough to where, you know what I'm saying? If we all got similar values, we're all homeschooling our kids to just
No,
learn
that's the
useful
neighborhood.
things
Yeah,
from
you gotta
us.
find a good neighborhood.
Yeah, so like we're just gonna build our own little like village, you know what I'm saying, of people that know what they're doing. So I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about A, my neighbors being idiots, B, my kids not having friends, C, my kids making friends with retards at public school, shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a solid enough system to where you can kind of, and like, weird shit might still happen in a system like that, hypothetically, but at least it's like, there's gonna be some sort of like, I feel like that would give a man a lot of safeguards into the bullshit that can happen when you're raising kids and a family, right?
Yeah. I mean, in general, the best predictor for success, the best predictor for success of any child is zip code. The wealthier the neighborhood, the more successful the child, hands down.
Yeah, like that's why I don't want to that's why I want to be able to have a lot of money to build a house on like my own estate rather than just like any old neighborhood with random strangers as neighbors. Like it's crazy so many people settle for just fucking whatever neighborhood they can afford and like think looks nice. I feel like that's like basically people's criteria. Like they're like, is it a safe neighborhood on paper? Yes. Okay. Like I don't know. And it's like easier said than done.
They can afford, and then they just get locked in, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then they like got to deal with their neighbors. Like bro, Morgan Wallen when he first started blowing up, like I guess he wasn't as rich as he is now, but he definitely had a pretty big house as far as the house goes for a home. And he can't even come home drunk and say the N-word without his neighbor, random neighbor, that I guess he wasn't friends with, just recording him and selling it to TMZ and ruining his career before it starts almost. And this dude's like a fucking low-key a megastar. I mean, maybe he was just a star back then, but still, like,
No,
they're like upper class. Like, at least get I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want a lot of land. But, like, I think he's a country boy, so he does. But I think he maybe had a farm somewhere else and a house, or maybe he couldn't afford the farm yet. So he was just like, let me start with that. It was probably like the starter house. Because he definitely moved out right after that, But, like, I see shit like that, and I'm like, that could not be me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to trust anyone who's anywhere near my property,
Yeah, I agree with that, too. That's why I want a good duplex.
Yeah, like, I'm going to have fucking kids. I mean, I just feel like if you have a lot of land and you can, like, somewhat secure it, like, at a certain point, if you have too many acres, it's probably kind of hard to protect it all. But, if you have, like, cameras and
Lots of people have long guns, don't they?
maybe security. Yeah, but the guns, like, you gotta actively protect it yourself. Like, how are you supposed to be a busy man? I mean, what I've seen from the celebrities I look up to is just you got a lot of trail cameras, and you got to get the land that's kind of in like a nice area. The surrounding area's got to be nice. And I think if it's like generally a low crime surrounding area where you can find a plot of enough land where like you don't have to worry about people having houses near your house.
Yeah.
That seems to be. It's obviously not like. Like you can't really stop someone from trespassing, I guess, if you're not there. But I feel like my shit's gonna always have someone there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like definitely cameras available at like any kind of angle or like entry point. I don't know. There's a lot I gotta figure out. So, but this is just.
Building a life.
I'm just definitely gonna build my life right. Like I would have built it by now, but like I've seen so much of like how not to build it that I'm like, okay, let me make sure I have a proper. First, you gotta get a proper partner, but then first you gotta have a proper business. Otherwise, you got to settle for poor people shit and live amongst the poors.
The two best ways to stay poor are kids and car.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a car because I have to drive.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, I could do it without, but fuck that.
How's the public transit in Miami? Is it not good?
No, fuck that. I don't interact with that at all. That's why I have a car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't count on, like, these dishwashers at my job mentioned that, and I'm like, dude, when I graduated public transport before I graduated high school. You know, we lived in a very bikeable city, fortunately, growing up. And once those T-Cats were late one too many times, like maybe 3, 4, 5 times tops, is when I was like, dude, fuck this. I don't want to rely on these shitty T-Cat drivers to be on time. Half the time they're like not even, like the schedules are changed, and there's like the stop I'm waiting at is like not even a stop. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
And then I started
It
just
has to be really good for it to be good.
that's when I started biking everywhere. Even in the winter and shit, I was just like, well, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm an endurance athlete. And half the time, that shit was way faster. Like, a T-Cat ride halfway up the hill, which would be like a 15-minute run, if that, would damn near take like 30 minutes sometimes. 25 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, from downtown, it was cool because, like, you could get anywhere in town in 30 minutes to an hour. You can get across town in an hour, you know, from, like, one hill to another.
Yep.
You know, if the transportation was coming like you thought it was, but the whole, like, being uncertain and having to rely on it maybe working was just too much for me. So I was like, I'd rather rely on myself and be kind of, like, too exhausted sometimes from biking than worry about if I'm going to be able to, like, make it on time to where I need to go, right?
Yeah.
And since then, I've always at least had a bike. And, like, it wasn't really long before I started having a car at all times. I would have bought a car probably right after high school, but I was fortunate enough to have just like my mom's first car. When my grandma passed, we got like my last car, and my mom was driving that, and I was able to just keep driving my mom's old Nissan Rogue up until like a year after I finished college.
Yep.
But if I wasn't, I definitely would have put some money aside and just bought like a fucking beater or something for a couple $100, because it's way better than just like wasting your time just to like get around. Like, come on. Yeah.
No, I was 12 and 11. Holy shit.
I didn't even see my score. My shit sucked.
That's because you're talking, which is good. I like how you're planning out the life you want. I think a lot of people just do whatever's handed to them, and that's dumb.
I'm kind of gassed from talking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm so anal about trying to plan everything now because that's how I started living my life. Like, I used to just mostly just try to trust what my parents say, and you know, like if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have gone to college. Like, a lot of my college was just thinking about how I'm gonna get through it because it just was not working. But I really didn't want to quit or, like, you know, bum my parents out. And it was like, I got this scholarship. I'd hate to waste it. That was like my main motivation to actually do it, and not like just go on a gap year with Eric and ride bikes. Like, by the time he suggested that, I'd already committed to Damon. I'm pretty sure if I didn't, I definitely would have gone with him. And it probably would have been like way more fun than most of my first year in college. Maybe all of my college, but you know, it's too late for that. But you know, when you're trusting other people and you don't know yourself, it's really easy to stumble into a life that, like, with good intentions, but you stumble into a life that is just so suboptimal. And then by the time you realize it, it's like it's too late because you got all this shit that you're like attached to, whether it's, you know, a mortgage or a school enrollment, you know, or a job. Look, it could have been a job. You know, I'm glad I decided to take control when I did. I didn't even have a prospective job when I was like finishing college. That's why I was like, you know what? I bet I could just make my own job while I think about whether or not I'm going back to college. Because I was like, I could always go back and finish. You know, like within 5 years or whatever, I can just go back, kind of pick up where I left off. But you know what I'm saying? If I don't try to build a business first, how do I know I can't just build a business instead of just working for someone else's business? And that always kind of, the idea of just, you know, having a work for someone. I wasn't even really like fully aware of just how shitty working just some job was at the time. I think. I mean, I had a few jobs at that point, and no, I mean they basically all sucked. I guess I was probably pretty aware. Like I could do them, but it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was never like, it never felt worth it.
Yep.
Like whether I got paid a good amount or not, you know. And then once I learned how it actually works, where you could kind of just like get dropped, like you can kind of just get fired for any reason when you're at a job.
Yep.
Not to say like, you know, obviously if you work hard and you provide what they want from you, you're probably not going to get fired, right? But it's just maybe a little too much structure, or just not enough control. I know I might be too much of a control freak, you know. I don't want anyone controlling me except God.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, you know. But this will probably be my last game. I'm kind of gassed from this conversation. My lungs are like, ugh. Catch my breath for a sec before I smoke this pot.
Yo. Okay, let's just make sure we win then.
We're winning right now. Here, wanna try to get on top of the building with me? I mean,
I have been for like
Oh,
a
really?
long time.
Okay, let me try to help you out with that quest. I'm on the ladder. We gotta do it in a way where they don't just sitting duck us and get a bunch of kills.
Fuck.
But what's next? So wait, how would did you see that girl again, or that maybe a girl?
Oh,
You said you weren't sure.
I think they sort of stood me up, but not really.
No.
Yeah. So they asked me if I was going to the protest Friday, and I was like, yeah, I'm going. And then they hearted it. But they also said they were going. Fuck! I just literally just jumped off. Fuck! They shot me right before I jumped. I didn't see him, but you know, I'll see him later, maybe. Who knows? But.
Well, how did they stiff you, or did they just not show up and you didn't hear from them?
Sort of both. I feel like I don't really know. Not clear.
Well, like what? Just tell me like the facts. They said, "I'll see you at the protest." They liked your
No,
message.
they did not say that. They asked me if I was going, and I said
Oh.
yeah, and then they hearted it.
Right.
But they also said, I'm going out of. So they said, I said, hey, Madison, I like chatting with you. You know, let me know if you're ever free. And then they were like, that's cool. I'm going out of town really soon, but fuck. Are you going to be at the protest Friday? And I said, yeah, I'll be at the protest Friday. Then they hearted it, and that was that.
Oh yeah, so that's lukewarm. I mean, that's all right. Look, that's just part of the game. Like if you're gonna be the one shooting the shots, you gotta appreciate that rejection. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
Yeah.
like, not even it's not necessarily rejection. Like they might pop out of the blue later, and you know want to get to know you more later than they did at that time. You know, and then they'll reach out to you. But until that happens, if it happens, you gotta just keep shooting your shot to other specimens. You know, there's a whole world out there. There's plenty to choose from. And if you think like that, you know, you'll eventually, like, it's hard, but you'll get used to it, you know? And I'm assuming you didn't already do this in high school. Maybe you did. I don't know if you were just, you know, shooting the girls back then, but it's a lot of fucking, no. But,
It's a massive numbers game.
yeah, every no gets you closer to a yes.
Yep.
Just like sales. Or like applying for jobs, you know?
It's like that meme with the diamonds.
Yeah, like when they're digging, the guy gives up right before. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Ooh. So how are you polyamorous, or like how would someone cheat on you if you were in a relationship?
Whatever the agreement was when you enter the relationship is whatever it is. So like my ex and I, she was pretty she was kind of a bitch, but fuck! If, like, I went on a couple of dates with somebody who was poly, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of chill if you date people when you're not with me, and I'm cool with that too. It's kind of a case by case thing, you know.
Case by case. Okay.
I mean, it's just like anything, right? It's like, you know. Oh, I literally did not.
Well-
Fuck, hold on, I want to win. Hold on, I want to win.